Do not buy a single diamond until you watch this video. So what are we gonna do exactly? We're gonna take you through the journey of how a diamond, the one that you're paying thousands of dollars for, how it actually gets graded. Here's how watching this video will protect you and also tell you how you're reading or using these certificates wrong. Welcome back to my channel. This is Bonnie with By Bonnie Jewelry, where I talk about all things diamonds. So to recap, I was invited to go to New York a few months back, and GCAL, which is a diamond laboratory that grades diamond, extended their first ever invitation to a person welcoming me to their laboratory to get a full breakdown of everything. I got to see all the things that have never been shown to other people before, the technology and everything. So I'm going to take you on this journey with me from beginning to end. Why is this video important, you may say? Well, I mean, when you spend a substantial amount, like if you're researching for a car, a TV, or a house, you're doing a lot of research, right, into the details. Well, if you've done enough research on buying a diamond, spending thousands of dollars on your engagement ring, wouldn't you be curious how all these things that are graded on the certificate determine the value of your diamond? Okay, I have to warn you, this video is going to be a little bit long because I have to show you all the steps. Pay attention to every single point. Let's roll. Okay, step one is actually intake. So the diamond gets shipped in and arrives to the laboratory. The first thing to do is weight and measure. So the diamond carat weight that you see, that's the first thing they do, is weigh it. And then they measure the diamond. So the measurement that you see on the certificate, how large the diamond actually face up, that's what they're measuring for. Why is it important? Well, the weight of a diamond is pretty much the first thing that determines the value, right? The larger the carat weight, the more expensive the stone is. Now, the second step is called Gemprint. This is a patented technology that is exclusive at GCAL Lab. So what it does is basically the forensic identity of your diamond. Okay, so the next step is research and identification. Now, this is probably one of the most important part because this is what determines whether a stone is natural or lab grown or other types of material like synthetic, glass. This is really important. Why? Because if it's a natural stone, it's probably going to be priced differently than if it is a laboratory grown or other types of material. This is what you're paying for. Also, this is the time where they're going to detect if there's any type of treatments that's being done to the stone. And they also check for growth method for laboratory grown. So CVD versus HPHT, it's going to show differently in the growth pattern, and this is how they determine your stone. And then there's the fun part, fluorescence grading and color grading. Now, color and fluorescence is two completely different things, okay? I wanna make sure you guys know this.
So normally, fluorescence, it's not visible to the naked eye, only if it's exposed to UV light. So here we have UV light, and here on the left side, we have a faint. In the center, we have a medium, and here we have a strong on the right side. So typically, lab-grown diamonds don't have fluorescence, and I'm gonna show you my own diamond that actually has a little bit of fluorescence. I'm gonna put it in the machine. I'm gonna show you guys. Do you see that?
So color in white diamonds specifically, they're actually checking for absence of color. Okay, so D is going to be the highest, which is colorless, all the way to Z.
So the unknown stone always go on the right side of the master. So once you place it next to the master, what we're going to do is we're going to lift this up closer to the color, the light of the color, and keep in mind that these colors, these lamps or these light bulbs are temperature color checked every single morning. So that makes it really precise.
And just a little pointer, color of a diamond is actually graded when the stone is face down. And that's why I talk about this in all my other videos. When we do our curation, we actually love to look at the stone face up. Sometimes how a stone faces down, how the color looks face down, it looks completely different when it's facing up. Okay, moving on. So the next thing is clarity. So what is the clarity of a diamond? So basically, we're grading the amount of inclusions inside a stone under 10x magnification, right? So we're looking for how many, how visible they are, and we use that as a logic to come up with a clarity grade from, let's say, flawless, internally flawless, VVS 1-2, all the way down to SI2, I1. And I always love to use the term inclusions rather than imperfection, because just because you have a birthmark somewhere doesn't make you imperfect, right? It's just part of you. So that's exactly how we think of it. So the next thing we have is cut, which is probably the most important thing when it comes to buying a diamond, and you'll hear that over and over again. The cut is the most important. So what are we talking about when we say cut? It is not the shape. When we say cut, we're talking about how well the stone is cut, polish, symmetry, and the overall proportions of the stone. The aesthetic, how the stone looks. Is it well cut? So the more well cut a stone is, the better the light is going to reflect into the stone and come back to your eyes, right? So GCAL actually has something called the 8x diamond, right? So more than your traditional excellent. So what are they measuring when they're talking about 8x excellent? They're talking about beyond that. So optical brilliance, they're looking for fire, scintillation, optical symmetry, hearts and arrows. There are just so many things that they're measuring for in the perfect 8x diamond. And of course, this is very difficult to achieve in natural diamond just because how limited natural roughs are, but you'll see that more in laboratory grown. And I'll be making an entirely separate video about 8x diamond, how they're different, so make sure you don't miss out on that. Okay, moving on. So we have laser inscription. So what does that mean? Each and every single diamond actually has a unique set of numbers that is basically the ID of the diamond that matches what's on your certificate.
Okay, so welcome to one of the last parts of before the diamond actually goes out to you. So this is diamond laser inscription. So for those of you who don't know, each diamond is usually lasered with their own certificate number. It acts as sort of an ID number for the stone. So if you set it in a ring, you know, if it's set in between the prongs, you can see it. So normally that is done on the girdle, the diamond girdle, which is this thin line right here. That's usually when you can take a loop and take a close look at it, and you're gonna find the sets of number that's on the screen right here, okay? So here, the diamond goes into this chamber here where the laser light is, and you can see the stone actually being held right there, and those are where the laser lights are gonna come, and you firmly close this door, and that's when the laser inscription is being done.
So it is very helpful for jewelers or for us or just consumer to basically identify if this is your stone. And those instruments are very, very expensive. So this is a good way to ID your diamond to tell if it's natural or lab, because all of those things will be lasered inscribed on the side of the diamond. So before moving on to the final step, there's actually, after the stone goes through the entire loop of journey with cut, color, clarity, weight, all that, it gets re-verified, okay? And GCAL uses Gemprint all over again. So remember in the beginning, I talked about Gemprint. So basically the forensic ID of the stone, like a fingerprint. At the end, after the stone goes through the whole journey, it gets re-ID'd to double check that the Gemprint actually matches where the original stone enters as. And then finally, we have printing. So all this fanciness, this paper, all of this feels really nice of, you know, diamond certificates, and then it gets printed on these special paper. It has a very unique texture to it, so you know, you can't just like, regular people can't just like print them randomly. So definitely appreciate that. So that's it. After printing, the final certificate is the one that you're taking home with after you make the purchase of your diamond. Wow, what did you think of this amazing journey I just took you through? But the one thing that I want to point out, which actually to conclude this video, is that so the certificate itself, right, is very helpful when you're just looking for information about the stone. But it doesn't tell you everything, right? So when we do curation as a trained, seasoned gemologist, we're looking for things to benefit our clients, right? I actually look at the stone myself and compare it with my own human eyes, which I think it's very important, which is one element that I think it's actually truly the most important thing when you're choosing a diamond. I made a video about how somebody purchased a $125,000 diamond that actually ended up having secondary color to it that is not listed on the certificate. So a lot of you are asking, oh, how is it not on the certificate? Because some of those things that we're seeing are simply not required to be on the certificate sometimes, right? So definitely it's great to have, right? Because for a consumer who was not, looking at diamonds every day, those things are extremely helpful. It is important when you're looking for a diamond to not only look for what's on the certificate, but beyond. So I hope today's video was helpful to you to give you a deeper insight of how a diamond actually gets graded, right? How everything gets listed on the certificate, what you're buying. If you liked it, make sure you comment below with your questions. Definitely be on the lookout on all the individual videos that we'll be doing on cut, color, clarity, fluorescence, all of that good stuff. We'll be putting it in production. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to my channel, forward it to a friend, and follow me on Instagram and other social media channels at By Bonnie Jewelry, okay? I'll see you guys in my next episode. Bye!